People don't realize it, but when you come to Korea, everyone's skin is so nice.
That's how I started too.
So nice.
Hi guys! Welcome back to Mask Moments. I have a new friend here today for episode 3. This is my friend Chen from New York, just like me.
Hi everyone, my name is Chen. I am a content creator here in Korea. It is really exciting to be here with my friends and get to talk with you guys. When I first started, I was an assistant at in like my marketing team, and I was making basically double what I would be making here as an assistant. Your starting salary is 2.1 million, $2,000 a month, and I was making double that as an assistant. And I was already a senior associate by the time I moved here, so I was making
So
pretty
you've
much.
had about 3 years of professional experience or so,
Yeah.
but you took the pay cut.
I took a major pay cut,
To
so
come
I was
here.
like, it's gonna be worth it.
How old were you when you moved here?
I was 25. I remember because I was having like a minor breakdown in my office when I turned 25. I was like, oh no, it's the end.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, it's a quarter. And I remember that exact birthday because I was having like a slight freak out in my brain, and I booked a trip to Colombia like that day for the following week, and I emailed my boss. I didn't even ask. I was just like, I'm going to Colombia next week.
Well, can you walk us through like the process of what you were thinking in that job that made you be like, this is not for me? Because I mean, you were making good money and you were at a pretty prestigious company. I'm sure the role was, I mean, you started as an assistant, but you moved up and became a coordinator, manager?
I was a senior associate.
Senior associate.
Yeah.
So what was like going through your mind? What was the actual breakdown?
One day, I was having a really hard day at work, and I looked at my boss, and I was like, do I want to be you in 5-10 years? And the honest answer was no. And that was when I knew that I couldn't, I mean, either way, I couldn't stay at this job. Because if I didn't want to be in that position in a few years, then why was I going to waste my time here knowing where I would end up later? You know, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of figure that out. And it was good to figure that out while I was young.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to me that you chose Korea, besides the opportunity in teaching English, because some of these YouTube content creators will come over because they have a love for K-pop or K-culture or Kbeauty, but you really came with very little knowledge.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you just literally just hopped on a plane and came here. You didn't know a single person.
Nope.
And you just started teaching, and you took a pay cut
Yeah.
and made this huge transition in your life.
Yeah, no, I knew nothing about anything Korea. I didn't know anything about K-pop. I think I knew that one Super Junior song because it was a really big hit in Taiwan. And I heard it everywhere, but that was really my extent of K-pop. I didn't speak any Korean. I couldn't even read Hangul when I came here. I didn't know anyone, literally not a single person. But I think that's what made it really more interesting for me. I really wanted, at that point in my life, I wanted a fresh start. And that was really important to me. And going somewhere where I didn't know anyone, I could really feel like I was starting over, was really, really poignant.
I see. It's like the challenge that you took on.
Yeah, it was kind of like, I can do it.
Yeah. Can you tell our audience how you started the channel?
It really started because when I came through EPIC, which is the teaching program here, they wanted people to create content, like video content for future teachers, and to explain about the program and how people come here. And my friend and I, who I literally met at orientation, were like, I could do that. So we decided to do it kind of for fun, and it kind of has now spiraled into something that I've just been doing now for pretty much 2 years. For me, it was something I didn't even think about conceptually until I came here and found that that was even an option. So that's how it really started, and it hasn't really stopped since. And we've kind of grown the channel to be something less about EPIC and like more about me.
So how did your family feel about the fact that A, you moved to Korea, to a completely different country, but also the fact that you took a pay cut? Did they have any reactions to that?
I thought I was crazy. Literally the word was, what are you doing?
Yeah, but then were they like, but we support you in this dream, or?
No, they did not support me in this dream. They thought I was crazy. But I've always been very independent and kind of, my mom even said, I'm gonna tell you no and you're gonna do it anyway. So I think one of the reasons why I was also really proud to start my YouTube channel was because I wanted to be able to say I was doing something productive and not just kind of throwing away my life, as some might put it, to create something for myself while I was here and not just, you know, going to my job. I was gonna make something and make a career out of something.
So now they see, not that they see the output, and that, you know, I mean, it may not be a huge number, but you still have like 10,000 plus, 15,000 plus subscribers, right?
Yeah.
So aren't they really proud of you for doing that?
They don't know.
What do you mean they don't know?
Like, my family has no idea I have a channel. I haven't even talked about this on my channel, but I haven't told anyone in my family that I have a YouTube channel or that I make content or that I write or do any of that stuff.
You're a secret YouTuber?
I'm a secret YouTuber. And it's not that I'm ashamed of my channel, it's just that my family, you know, they're Asian, guys. We have Asian families, and it doesn't matter what your progress is, it's all about results. So once I get everything to what I consider my family will deem as a respectable level.
Wait, what does that mean? Is that in numbers of followers, or does that mean monetarily?
I think a little bit of both, to be honest. A little bit of both. And that's when I will tell them, like, I will show them like a piece of paper and be like, look, like, this is what I've done. I haven't been wasting my time. You guys think I've just been sitting around doing nothing, but like, that's not true. And it is like every time I see my families, because I'll see them sometimes when we reunite, and they'll always say like, what have you been doing? Like, why have you been doing anything?
So this answers my question, because I've always wondered why your YouTube link wasn't on your Instagram page.
It's a secret.
It's out now.
I know.
Hi, Mom.
It's okay. They only watch things in Chinese. So I was always really interested in beauty and fashion and stuff. Even when I was working in New York, the brands that I was working with were beauty related, hair care related, and you know, I'm a girl, so. But so all of that stuff encompassing, you know, with my channel, it's really just about what I want to say. I don't make content really for anyone else. It's really for me, and it's what I'm interested in. So of course I want to incorporate my personal interests and hobbies, and that's kind of how that has evolved. It's really about finding what I love to do and what I love to talk about, and then creating that brand myself.
Right, and can you talk a little bit about the beauty writing?
So as I was making the YouTube, I also wanted to explore other outlets in terms of being able to create things in the way that I wanted to create and in my voice. So I would also contact brands, or brands would contact me, and I would do not just digital content, but I'd also write up things for them in terms of my personal experience with the brand, with the products, writing reviews. And that's been really nice to keep myself proactive in the industry and in the environment, because again, beauty is something ever changing, and it's also something I really invested in once I got to Korea, because people don't realize it, but when you come to Korea, everyone's skin is so nice.
That's how I started too.
So nice. And I was literally walking around, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah,
like, what is happening? And you know, you really learn to adapt that lifestyle, because when you see something, you want to aspire to it.
Yes.
And I was like, these are skin goals, and I will also have these goals.
Yes.
And I really changed my whole skincare routine when I came here.
That's how we actually founded Mask Moments, because we were we really wanted to emphasize consistent care, so that like we wanted people to understand that putting on a mask is not just a like once in a while treat. It's a routine, it's a habit. It's like, you know, minimum once a week, put it on and you'll see a change.
No, we were talking about this earlier, but in America, I would use a mask as to treat myself, to make me, if I had a rough day, I'd be like, okay, I deserve this mask.
Once in a blue moon.
Right, but since I moved to Korea, it's like, why haven't I put on my mask today, right?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a like out of the step out of the shower routine, but that's the whole thing. We want people to get into the habit of caring for their skin.
Guys, it's a game changer.
Can you talk a little bit about your skincare? What's your favorite part? What are some products that stick out to you?
I personally really love like the more moisturizing moments. So I love anything essence or anything kind of like moisture. I love my masks, guys. I even I've started to get into like rolling with my roller after my mask. It's not just like, for me, it's it's become normal to have that habit to wind down from my day. It's not a treat myself moment anymore. It's definitely, this is my routine.
Yeah, that's great. Let's switch gears a little bit, and can you just tell me a little bit about how you are in the middle of transitioning your career?
I really felt like if I was gonna be here, I wanted to make the most of it and really understand myself and figure out why I was here and what I wanted to get out of this experience. So through the meantime, I kind of had more free time to discover my hobbies and my interests. So through that, I was able to start writing for beauty brands. I was able to start my YouTube channel. And through that transition, I've realized now that obviously teaching is a job for me. It pays my bills. I have a house. Very important. You know, money is important. It's not everything, but
it supports the lifestyle you actually want to live until you can make a living with what you want to do.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
It's kind of the means, right, to my end goal. And then I've been working on my Korean. Let's hope that all goes well. And hopefully be able to transition into a career where I can focus on YouTube more, like 100%, and I can also do more written content and more digital content and more beauty related and fashion and all those wonderful things.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself in maybe like the next few years, maybe next year, next 5 years?
So hopefully by next year I'll have racked up enough points to change my visa and be like a free agent and be able to kind of do whatever I want without any worry about like restrictions in terms of legality. And then in the next few years, I really want to build up my channel and just find a lot of success in that to be able to gain more opportunity, widespread, and hopefully work with more, you know, wonderful YouTubers and other wonderful collaborators and create, and just create stuff.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about how you think your personal brand has evolved over time?
I was just like, this is a job and people say this is a good job, so I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And through that, I was able to figure out, okay, I like this, I really don't like this. And that was really important to have that kind of filter through that time. And then later on, you can kind of cut out all the stuff you really don't like and focus on kind of like your route and your journey.
It takes some trial and error, you would say.
I would 100%. Even with my channel, I mean, like when I first started the channel, we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah.
And now there's, you know, things come with experience.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of hard if, you know, you may not always know what you want to do. People think that by a certain age, you should know what you want to do and that you should have a career in mind. But actually, the reality is, who at 18 or 22 knows what they really want, right? You may not, and that's okay.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, and it does take trial and error, and actually doing something only to figure out you don't want to do it is just as important.
Through your own like journey of figuring out who you are and what your priorities are. And I think it took me moving to Korea to really figure that out because I never had the time back in New York. I was always so focused on doing my job or doing this and pleasing everyone around me. And I think that was one of the biggest reasons too why I wanted to move without knowing anyone. I had no familial pressure. I had you know, it's always nice to have like people supporting you, but I really wanted to try and like figure things out by myself.
Yeah.
And that was really important about moving to Korea and not knowing anything. I was really starting over and I felt like I was like a clean palette, if that makes sense. Like I wanted to see what would stick and what wouldn't.
Do you think you kind of see the direction now, or where would you say you are right now?
I think right now I'm the happiest I've been in a few years, right? Like, because I was able to really learn a lot about myself by being by myself. I was able to make a lot of friends, which is wonderful. But some people don't take the time to learn about themselves and to really discover that. And for me, that was my most important thing.
We wanted mask moments to signify self-care and self-love. So I have to ask this question. What would you say is your mask moment?
I think moving to Korea and figuring out my life here, I finally learned how to kind of love myself and take the time for myself. Sometimes it'll just be when I'm getting a cup of coffee and I just take a moment mentally to just remember, like, I'm worth it, I'm a good person, I work really hard, and I can do things. And really just about remembering to empower yourself, because people forget to do that, and that's really important.
Yeah, no, I think it's very inspirational. The fact that you, as a 25-year-old, are able to leave everything behind, make a huge transition to a country you don't know, and then just start a new life with half the money that you used to make, only to use that as a means to find what you want to do truly. I mean, that's very empowering.
When you say it like that, it does sound crazy when I thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, people don't see who they are because they're just living it, but that's what it is from the outside, you know? And that's very admirable.
Hooray!
Are you proud of yourself?
At the end of the day, it's always more rewarding to be able to say you did something rather than not anything else.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here, Chen.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you again soon.
Yes, of course.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.